Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm gonna start off rather unceremoniously by doing some technical things. So if you will excuse me just a moment, because I've changed to a new caption service, and I want to make sure it's working. It's not right now because it hasn't recognised the correct source, but the caption should now be working. Because I'm using a different set of captions, it's now going directly through Twitch's caption service. So you should now be able to click CC, and then you'll just have the captions on. And that should mean that they then show up in VODs as well, hopefully. And also I can see what they are. They do seem to be a lot better than the ones I was using previously. But it looks like everything is working. I'm afraid you're gonna hear me twice very briefly. I just want to make sure twice very briefly. There we go. I won't get us stuck in an infinite loop. But I wanted to make sure that was working as well. Hello, it's 2021. I'm gonna get rid of the double me now. Oh, I've paused it on a terrible moment. I always get that with thumbnails as well. I get awful thumbnails. Hello, I hope you had a holiday. This is a really awkward thing to say. I've been trying to say to people, oh hey, how has your holiday gone, in a way that actually makes any sense right now, because the holidays were awful for a lot of people, myself included, and I don't really know, you know, how you're meant to express that in a way that is genuine but also understanding of the situation. I've not yet found it. If anyone knows of how one does that, then please let me know, because I have no idea. I don't think anyone does really. But hello, welcome back. It is Monday the 4th of January and it is 1 p.m, which is our new stream time, because I am on a new schedule now. I have my job has finished. I worked until the 31st of January. No, I didn't. I worked until the 31st of December. This is a good start, isn't it? And then I said goodbye to all of my colleagues. I mean, I'm still talking to all of them, so I guess I sort of said goodbye and then I didn't at the same time. It was a very hard and emotional day, and I've just spent the last few days recovering from it really. But I'm here and I'm so ready to embark on looking after myself and getting to just do this thing, this career that I absolutely love, and do this weird streaming thing as part of it. I recognise that I'm a very academic streaming, very small corner of possibly just me. I haven't yet found any other. I've found like similar streamers in that I've found people who do work with me's, people who do like write with me and that sort of thing, like writing streamers, but I've really not found anyone who's like, hey, I'm doing this research. So if you do know of any other academic streamers, I would absolutely love your recommendations, so please do let me know them here or on Twitter. You can find me there on Twitter. Yeah, I would love to meet more people that do this weird thing. Yeah, I have so many things I want to tell you about, and I knew this was going to happen. I was like, what's going to happen is I'm going to get in and I'm going to talk at 200 miles an hour and I'm going to stumble over trying to say everything at once. So we're going to pause. And I'm going to drink some water. Yeah, so hello. The new schedule, that's the first thing I want to talk about. So my aim, I'm going to have to like warm myself up to this and sort of go see how we go with it and do it steadily. But my aim is to stream for 2 hours every day at 1 p.m. GMT. What that will be this week, I don't know. Basically this is so term starts on the 18th of January. I am working on the assumption that that is when my PhD begins. And the reason I say I'm working on the assumption is that I've had no information. I'm on all of the incoming student mailing lists. I'm receiving emails that indicate that I will in fact be starting my PhD. My supervisors believe I'm starting my PhD, but I've had nothing. I'm hoping that this week like some magic emails will arrive telling me things. Now that I imagine the admin staff are going back today, I've started to receive emails again today, so hopefully I'll get some information soon. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It is stressful, and it's only because I know how much stress the admin people must be under that I'm not more upset about it. I haven't started recording. Damn it. It's very stressful to not know for sure what's going on. Hi KK, welcome to the stream. I'm just having a bit of a catch up before I get into doing some actual work. But yeah, my aim is to do basically I can't. Oh, thank you, Dr. Fall. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the nervousness that it's not actually going to start is pretty normal. And I know that one of the things with a PhD is that you don't get a lot of like direction given to you, which is the thing I'm looking forward to. I'm really excited to just my job being to sit and read for a year. Your friend is also in med school. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm very looking forward to it. Basically my aim in this week and next week is to get myself used to my new schedule. So I basically can't do anything in the morning. I have learned this. I don't function in the morning. Or rather, I need to use the morning to do other things so that I can function later on. Yeah, so basically I've written off mornings. There are occasionally things I have to go to, but generally the stuff I have to go to isn't before 11 a.m, so it's not too bad. Like I've got effectively a COVID provisions webinar that I'm going to on Wednesday that's at 11. I think it's Wednesday anyway. But for the most part, I'm able to use that time as like a buffer for if I sleep badly. One of the things that fibromyalgia does, and if you're new here, I am disabled. I have a chronic pain condition called fibromyalgia. And one of the things it does is it means that often when I sleep, I don't actually rest as part of that. There's effectively, my sleep doesn't have its full effectiveness. So sometimes I also have insomnia, and pain can keep me awake. So I have a lot of trouble sleeping. And what that morning means is that, if I don't get to sleep until 3 a.m, it's not a problem because I can still get enough sleep and, not be massively behind straight away. I'm using that as time where I can exercise, because that's another thing that's really important, and it's really hard because it's really painful. But this is my 3rd day in a row of doing yoga. I've done it 3 days in a row. It really hurts. I can't do half of it. I'm so tired. But I'm doing it. I'm trying. Yes, I do meditate sometimes before sleeping. I use sleep sounds. Rain and thunderstorms work really well for me. I do all sorts of things. I like turning screens off at a certain time. I've ordered, I'm going to be wearing glasses from tomorrow or possibly Wednesday. I've got like blue light filtering glasses because I'm staring at a screen all day. So that should hopefully help. Yeah, but I mean, all of those things are great, but if I'm in a lot of pain, it's just hard to sleep, and there's only so much I can do about that. Like in the moment, a lot of the ways that I'm able to deal with my pain are more longer term solutions, like exercising and building up my body's ability to do things again. And that's going to take a really long time. But I am trying, so hopefully we'll get there. But yeah, so that's my morning is basically the time to look after myself and look after dealing with because I have a lot of trouble first thing in the morning and last thing at night. They're the worst points. So it means I can deal with any pain or symptoms I'm having in the morning. Then I can use the afternoon for working, for studying. My aim is to do the 2 hours that I'm doing on stream, and then I'll have a break, and then because I need a break after streaming because I get very anxious. And then I can have another 2 hours of studying after that. So basically what I'll be doing this week is typing up notes in all of the streams, and then in my study block that isn't on stream, I will then do some reading. Because me reading on stream is not as exciting. Let's be fair. I'm going to catch up on chat now, as I was explaining now. Oh, but the really good thing before I catch up on chat is that means I finish at 6 p.m. and then I'm done. And I've got my evenings to myself. It means I can spend time with my husband. I can use my evening to play games and things and properly relax rather than being like, and now I've got to work. When I was working, I had a meeting at 9 p.m. GMT every Monday, and I cannot tell you how much I hated that. The meeting itself was fine. I worked with some lovely people, but my God, you don't want a meeting at 9 p.m. because I just ended up sitting there in like the early evening every Monday going, is it time yet? Is it time yet? I can't stop, because when I know I've got something else coming up, I'm on edge about it. So it's really hard to relax. But yeah, so that's awesome. I've got my evenings back. I've been, given some of them away to things like I made the heroic team for raiding. So I play World of Warcraft, if you're not aware, and I've gotten back into raiding after having had a bad experience with it last expansion, and I absolutely love it. It's my favourite thing about WoW, and I have completely by chance found a lovely guild. Really, really, really lovely guild. So I've given them my Wednesday and Sunday evenings now, but quite happily. But yes, now I really will catch up on chat. So just before sleep, be sure to forget all your stress because we sleep to relax, eat well, and keep exercising. Yeah, yeah. And I hate that that's the solution. Come on, webcam. There we go. And one of the things that I try and do, I've always had trouble sleeping. So I have trouble sleeping both from my fibromyalgia, but also from my mental illness. I think I just don't like sleeping. And one of the things that my mum always told me when I was younger is like, don't worry about sleeping, just make sure you're in bed and relaxing, and that then will naturally make sleep happen, which I think is true. It's just like putting systems and engineering things so that I can be as relaxed as I can when I get to sleep, and one of like getting out of this room at 10 p.m. is something I do every day, and that's really been helping. Cryptically, so I'd gotten over Christmas, I had a really bad pain flare over Christmas, partly because of all of the disruption around Christmas. If you're not aware, I was meant to be safely going to see my family, who I've not seen since, I've seen them once this past year, at my granddad's funeral. I've not seen them otherwise. I wasn't able to be with them in the months where my granddad was dying, and I really needed to see them at Christmas. And then I got put into tier 4 and we couldn't go. So I had a very bad pain flare as a result of that stress. Hi Jay Banks, I'm doing really well, thank you. I hope you are as well. And that meant I was sleeping utterly atrociously. The thing that fixed it, I installed Dragon Age on my laptop and I've been playing it in bed. Yeah, that's worked. Obviously, this is with like a filter on it, so it's not all blue light at 11 p.m. Yeah, apparently gaming is the answer, and very specifically playing my absolute favourite game. It's just really soothing, even though I'm playing it on hard. And I keep getting obliterated by things. I turned in Dragon Age Inquisition, there's some trials you can put on that basically make certain things really hard. So I've got like slow XP gain and stuff like that. But I've also got that all bears are utterly horrible, and I got stuck in a fight with 4 bears. It was very bad. I did manage it, but it was very difficult. If it wasn't for Warzone, I don't think I could cope with lockdown, just me and my friends losing ourselves for a few hours. Yeah, definitely. And I think the WoW expansion has been really well timed for me, because it's meant that I've been able to do that, and I've made, I'm meeting all these lovely people in my new guild, and it's been fantastic. It's been really invaluable. And I know a lot of people who found that. I know that for a lot of people, Animal Crossing saved them this past year, and they've got hundreds of hours in it just because it's been really soothing for them. And I'm a really strong advocate of the idea that gaming can be a massive source of healing mentally, and it can also, anything can be bad pretty much. Like, it's technically possible to drink too much water. There are absolutely problems with gaming addiction, but that doesn't undervalue the fact that, people are going to have trouble transitioning eventually when we're able to transition back to a quote-unquote normal life. People are going to find that really difficult, but it's absolutely possible to use gaming as a really positive thing. By gaming on Twitch, I've met so many nice and kind people. It's been refreshing for sure. Yeah, definitely. And there are some incredible communities here on Twitch, which is one of the reasons that, I'm here. I'm basically watching Twitch constantly. It's really weird. So I have a lot of my anxiety is social anxiety, But I am comforted by the presence of people, but as long as they're in a format where I don't have to interact with them unless I choose to. So Twitch is fantastic for me because I can just like put the people there. I feel that I'm not alone, but also I don't have to talk to them. But they're talking to me, but not to me directly. So it's like social interaction without the pressure. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think Twitch is a fantastic place, and I'm very, very happy to be here, even if I am doing something slightly weird on Twitch. And even though I do find it hard sometimes, like I'm noticing now as I'm talking that I am anxious. I did expect to be a bit more anxious today, coming back to it after, this is what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks of not doing this? Something like that. Yeah, so I did expect it to be a little bit harder today. But is that still whining at me that I haven't read that email? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. If I manage 1 hour, then I think I've done really well because I've turned up and I've done something. So I think that's probably not everything I wanted to catch up on, but I think it's a lot of it. So I'm going to get into typing some notes up. I'm really far away from my desk, apparently. Let's put us into here. Oh, I need to move my microphone because otherwise there's like this one lump of my microphone there and it's really disconcerting. Oh, you're going to, yeah, good luck with your work, J Banks. I hope it goes well. You're welcome to work along with me if you're here, or not, just be here. I've decided that I don't, I feel like it's more interesting because I'm trying to show the process of what I'm doing. I think muting, where I was doing the Pomodoro sessions where I was muting myself, I don't think that I kind of enjoyed it, but I then started to feel like it wasn't working as much. So I'm not going to do that this week, but I am going to be timing myself, mostly to make sure that I don't overwork my hands by typing for too long. Where I've been doing that yoga, it's been a lot of pressure on my wrists and my hands, and I definitely found when I was at my keyboard last night that I was starting to have some trouble. So I'm just gonna, try and be mindful and a little bit careful with it. But we are back to remembering to breathe. I'm really good at this, guys. Right. We are back to typing up the last of my dissertation notes, which is, how far through it am I? Oh, really nearly done. So basically I've got, that looks like about 10 more pages, if that, because a lot of those notes are then notes from my supervisions, which I don't really need to type up in the same way, because they were just effectively a list of things to do where I was then editing my dissertation, which I've just realised I haven't streamed since this happened. Okay, I've got my dissertation mark. Got an 85. A distinction. So in my degree, it's not the same for all postgrad degrees across the UK, but in my master's degree you have pass, merit and distinction, and that's from low to high. Obviously anything below a pass is a failure, as you might expect. A distinction is a 70 and I got an 85. It's such a high distinction that it brought the average for my master's degree up to a distinction, and means that I got a distinction for 2/3 of my credits, which means I think, and I won't know for certain until it's ratified in, I think, February, it means I got a distinction in my entire degree. And I got such incredible comments. I'm still slightly reeling from it. I got in my bachelor's degree, I got a 2-2, which at that level is only just a pass, because I skipped a load of exams, I didn't hand in some coursework, I was so ill. So to be able to get the mark that I'm actually capable of is amazing. And I can't believe I forgot to say that earlier. But yeah, so that's the dissertation I wrote on the stream in the past few months. So thank you for being part of me getting the highest mark possible. And I look forward to being absolutely certain of that mark when it's ratified in February. Because they only like certify degrees at certain times. Technically I don't have that degree and I won't like graduate until next November or something, because they have to sign off on it. But by all of the I went through and looked at like all of the examination board, which is what the examination board ratify it, and it does look like I've done it. So yeah. And now I'm just going to be grinning about that. So I'm going to make myself type some things. So we're partway through typing up this book. This book I think is the last thing I read, but I think I had to stop in the last stream because my hands were hurting so much. Have I been putting the authors? I have, yes. Oh wow, my hands are not doing what I want them to today. Also, I think I might have lost some of the noise cancelling filters when I moved over my streaming setup. So if you get rage typing today, I'm sorry, and I'll check it on the VOD and go through and sort it out. I think you are getting rage typing. Let me see if I can fix that now, because that's going to annoy everyone. Right, I put a noise gate on it, so hopefully that will help. I may need to adjust the noise gate because of the incredible volume of my... Oh, it looks okay actually. How does one actually spell this word? I'm gonna have to look this up because I keep doing it wrong. An E is D-I-E. And then it just doesn't know. I need to move where I've got the book over to the side at the moment. I think I want it like under where I'm writing. My handwriting in these notes is so bad. I've done it. I keep trying to pull it closer to me, and it's really weird if you see just... No, it's just it being funny. I will get used to the green screen, I swear. I'll have to look at it later. I realise also that this ticker is like over. There's going to be a lot of adjusting, so if you're bearing with me whilst I move that over there. We hit 100 followers, by the way. Thank you all for helping with that. I've turned that page. What is going on? So what's happening, if you're not familiar with lighting, basically this line that you can see here is some shadow on my green screen. And I've got lights all over the place. Everywhere. And yet, and also set it all up earlier and I checked it and it was all fine. That. The only problem with having this book here, the keyboard is so close to me. Maybe I will abandon the cooking book stand. Hi Dan, Happy New Year. Oh. Is that going to stay? Hang. Now I can actually move my keyboard a sensible free from my face. That is that book done. Or that part of that book. No. I really should handwrite people's names clearer. I think I need to start handwriting them in like all caps so that I can actually spell them correctly when I get to this point. Yeah, we're doing good, thanks. We are both back at work today. So the cat is confused because nothing really has changed and yet we seem to be acting like something changed. She's actually in here at the moment. I have the door shut normally to shut the noise out, but normally also to shut the cat out. But I have, so I have a box down here by my desk that's full of all of my heated bits. And she's asleep on top of it. And I didn't want to disturb her, so I just shut her in here. Oh, you've got another week off, nice. Technically, off until the 18th of January, but because that's when my PhD starts. But I've got this prep I want to do before then. That'll then set me up to actually be able to hit the ground running with it, rather than you know, being like, oh, but I should probably type up all of these notes because I'm going to need them. That was it. I had a lot of notes. The next two The next two articles I've got one line about each. Like, I think the title of this one is longer than my notes. That's it. Also, just a reminder for all of you that when I'm clicking on things on here, you're not seeing drop-down menus. So if it looks like I'm doing something particularly weird, probably that I'm clicking a drop-down menu you can't see. Oh dear. I'm just gonna look it up. I need an all key shortcut for this name. And I don't ever want it. No, I don't want it. Lowercase. One four. What on earth does that say? Read my own handwriting. This is backwards. This is my terrible habit. I think the captions are having trouble. Yeah, it's not catching all of it. I'm just gonna do this for now, so you can actually hear me properly. And sorry for the weird line. I guess there was already a weird line there. I have no idea what that says. I'm gonna write what it looks like it says. I was really evidently keen to fit this quote onto the bottom of this page because my writing now gets smaller and smaller. Like when you're writing in a birthday card and you've massively underestimated how much space it will take you to write things. It's very high. Pity. Probably because when I sit cross-legged, I'm up a lot higher in my chair. And then the moment that I go back to not doing that, everything's at the wrong height. Where was I? Becomes a system of common interpretation. I really liked this point, the idea that, so I, for a long time, played like really big and dramatic protagonist style characters, but I'm now really into the idea of playing like the background character deliberately. I mean, that's partly because I'm facing the fact that I can't do LARP combat anymore, so when eventually the world allows us to go back to it as an activity, I don't know that it's going to happen this year, to be honest. That I'll have to rethink how I engage with LARP, and I've talked about this a bit before. And I'm really into the idea of playing like a smaller scale, more backgroundy character, on the understanding that I won't be less effective in the story, because as this quote says, the small acts that are small and mundane have a far greater power and effect, because they're one of the building blocks of that fictive reality that you're constructing with the people around you. You know what I never did? I never pressed play on this timer. I have been typing for about 20 minutes though. Oh dear. I'm gonna finish this one note and then I'll pause for a moment. Excellent. I've only got one note left. Shall I finish that note? I'm going to finish that note. Then it's a good place to pause, because I think that might be the end of this notebook. Judging, not nudging. They're very, very different things. No judging yourself or others. No stories, gossip. Just seeds. Right, is that actually this note? Have a look, shall we? This is notes from a supervision. Oh, it's not quite. It's not quite. I've got that, and then I've got this other book. And then those are supervision notes. All supervision notes. Yeah, I've got 2 more notes from this notebook. I think it's probably worth explaining if you're not, if you're new here or you've not heard me talk about exactly what I'm doing with these notes and why. So these notes are from my dissertation. You can see here in Zotero, which is the program I'm using. It's actually meant primarily for citations and bibliographies and that sort of thing, but I'm using it both for that and as a way to type my notes up. When I am researching, when I'm reading, I vastly prefer handwriting my notes. If I go to type notes up alongside it, it just pulls me out of it somehow. It just doesn't work as well for me. I find if I handwrite the notes, it's really good and it actually goes into my brain better, and helps a lot. That's obviously hard with getting pain in my hands. It's one of the reasons I have to be a bit careful with how much I do in one go. And that's great, and I've got notebooks full of notes. It's wonderful. But the moment that you want to, let's say I'm in my PhD doing a chapter and I'm looking at, let's say I'm looking at the emotion of anger and the expression of the emotion of anger. I've got to sit and go through every single notebook, through all of the notes I've ever read in order to find anything. Whereas if I type them up, I can just press Control and F and I can search for anger. So my aim is to... So currently I'm going back and digitizing all of the notes I took in the past year. We're almost there. Still quite a reasonable amount left, but we're also almost there. The aim is to finish that before my PhD starts. So that I've then got it all. And the aim will then be each Friday afternoon, I will type up all of the notes from the previous week. So I will always, I'll be maintaining it rather than like being behind forever. The other good thing about that is obviously I'm not doing it as much now because these notes are for my dissertation, and whilst still a little bit relevant because I may end up talking about roleplay in my dissertation, I'm actually kind of more likely to talk about tabletop roleplay, interestingly. Whilst I may do that, it's going to be a lot less relevant. But it's still good to, because I find sometimes that things are really tangentially related in a way that can surprise me. And the process of typing things up helps me reprocess all of that information and think about it some more. The one caveat I would add, I'm really bad at taking notes. Not in the sense that I don't take enough, but the notes that I take aren't very high quality, and one of the things I want to work on is improving how I take notes, making sure that I clearly mark when something is... One moment, there is someone at the door. I will be right back. Right, I'm not super fast. My husband got it. I think it's his delivery anyway. So, yeah. So as I was saying, I need to be better at making clear when something is an argument from the book, when something is my thoughts that I'm having whilst reading it, and just things like that, and making sure that when I come back to look at those notes later, I understand clearly what everything in there is. And that's something I want to get better at. It's something I want to like look up some more guides about. I think that's something I want to try and do. I'm gonna put that down on my list. So I can remember that in the next couple of weeks. Difficulty. I have looked some up in the past, but the difficulty is finding something that's... You get a lot of note-taking videos like on YouTube and stuff that are aimed at college students, so generally American students at college level, rather than even American students at PhD level or anyone at PhD level, where what you're doing is researching the book rather than like training yourself to regurgitate information. So I need to find some guides that are like more specific. There is a YouTuber that I will remember at some point to bring the link of. Her name is Lucy Hargreaves, I think that's right. And she's a PhD student at the University of Birmingham and vlogs on YouTube. And her vlogs have been really helpful because while she's a normal English literature PhD, her experience is about as close to mine as I'm gonna get. So it's been really useful to watch her videos and listen to her talking about what she's doing. She's in her second year now, so I can go back and like watch her videos through from her first year, which is really useful. I'm about to type up a note that contains profanity. There's nothing triggering in it. It's just bad language. This is technically an 18+ stream, but primarily because of the nature of the sensitive topics I may end up discussing as a result of my research, not normally because I've read an article called Fuck the Audience. Oh god, what does that name say? I don't think that's this person's name at all. Also, I got really angry at this article. I will read you my notes aloud when I've typed them up in case you can't see them very clearly. Because it's wildly ableist. It's utterly horrible. And it's just terrible in other ways as well. So this is a quote from this article. The problem with LARP today is an excess of responsibility. The LARPs we have now are very safe. Safety rules, safety regulations. After all, we wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. Just a bit of fun. No, we don't want anyone to get hurt. Like, we actively don't want people to get hurt. And the guide to intentionally making a bad LARP, it basically, this is the argument. This is an edgelord article. Start with weird sex, real religion, offensive politics and personal space and you're on your way. He also talks about recruiting teenage girls to your LARP so that other people will come because there are teenage girls there, and specifically says attractive teenage girls. So the end of my note here is fuck this guy. It's true, safety rules do exist to keep people safe. I need to pick a book up for this next one. Oh no, you could briefly see the green screen. My secrets are revealed. Right. I have some ASMR page turning. This is an old book. It's secondhand, so it's quite It's from 1958. This printing, not the book in general. The book in general is from 1938. Date is 1958. I don't really feel I need to put the ISBN number in. Oh, have I already listed it? Good work, me. It's right there as well. It's right there. Have I included? Yeah. Oh, look, I even put the ISBN in. Get rid of this book. This is the last note in this notebook. What time is it? 2 o'clock. I will have... That's pretty good. There's a lot of notes in the next notebook. There's like 200 pages of notes in the next notebook. The next notebook is the penultimate one though. Then the one after that is my current notebook. Thanks, camera. A quote, I don't know why I put that there. I'm sitting in a really bad position right now. I'm gonna posture check myself. I didn't realise that you get infinite. I've got infinite teardrops. Oh, that's the other thing. The other thing I haven't said. Can't believe I forgot to say this earlier. I did some stuff over the holiday. Let me finish this note and then I'll tell you about it because it's very exciting. His taste for crime, not his haste for crime. Also, I apologise for that sentence having a slur in it. It's not used in the context of the slur, and it is a direct quote. But I apologise for putting it up there. It won't be up there for very long. Almost there. Not tired, you're tired. There. All done. I think that is that notebook. Let's check. It is. Done. That notebook is done. Okay. So here's the really exciting thing. You might have seen it already. You've seen me type in chat, but we have sub badges. We have 1 month up to 1 year sub badges that I drew, and they're teardrops. You have to be a partner to have more badges than that, but so this is the maximum number of badges we can have. They're all different colours and they're adorable. And there's something else that's also very adorable. It's this emote, which I also hand drew. And it's really cute. This is not me crying, by the way. This is just me having a slightly bunged up nose. So yeah, we have sub badges and emotes now. So if you sub, you can get access to the adorable heart emote, and also get a lovely teardrop next to your name whilst you're here. Yeah. I'm very excited about it. When I uploaded it, and so emotes don't get approved immediately, but my sub badges did, and I just had a conversation with myself in my own chat because I was so excited to see the sub badge, yeah. Then when I got the emote, I've just been using the emote all over the place because I'm so excited that I have it. Got an emote. I've been able to have emotes for like 2 years. I got affiliate a long time ago when I was streaming games. Yeah, I'd never done it because I thought I was going to commission them, and now I've got the technology to do it myself because I've got a touchscreen laptop that I can draw on, which is part of the reason I got it, was to be able to draw on it. Yeah. So this notebook. Wait, no, I need to stop rushing from one thing to the other. I really need to sort this autofocus out as well. Because I put my head down a lot. It's like my equivalent of a face palm, and I do that myself frequently, and every time I do it, my camera goes out of focus. I also just need to calm down generally. I'm very... I know I can tell now that part of it is excitement. It's excitement of being back here and doing this. Is this all still forwarding? I told you not to forward. What's all that? I'm separating, so until now I've had my university email forwarding to my personal email. I'm now changing that so that because it's effectively work emails for me, and this way I only get them when I'm open stuff, and I'm not going to be receiving a work email you know, in the middle of the night. It's very unlikely anyway, to be fair. This is me on 8 hours of sleep. All right. The 150 pages of notes in this book. It's all of this. And they're pretty dense notes as well. Some of them are notes from seminars. So this is my Medical Humanities and Illness and Disability course notebook, which is 2 of the modules I took last year. It's the modules that introduced me to my field and made me fall in love with it. No, that's the conference. This is the course. So it's all of the stuff I read for that. You can tell in my first week, it might be too light for you to see. You can just about see there's like this whole table that I drew out. This was all of the reading and all the optional reading. And I did almost all of it. Because the moment I started reading it, I got so excited. I read 6 of them. It's not entire books, I should say. A lot of it is like read these 3 chapters because it was set reading. But I read 6 of them in week 0. So in Welcome Week, I spent Welcome Week in our library is amazing because there's no one there. It's brilliant. Everyone is out at like the fair and stuff. Welcome Week is what my uni calls Freshers Fair, by the way. And it was fantastic because I was like in the library, I was in the library cafe, it was really quiet and lovely, and I learned very quickly after that week that the library cafe is not normally that quiet. And it's normally absolutely full of people and really loud, and I can't sit in there a lot of the time. Another lovely time to sit in there, 8 in the morning. Not many people there then, so when I was going in for 9 AM lectures, I had to take a train at 6:30 in the morning, because the option was that basically I either arrived an hour early or just on time, so if there was any disruption whatsoever, I would be late. And I just couldn't handle that, and I got up at 5 AM every morning, every Tuesday and Thursday morning. But well, in the end, only a term and a half because COVID happened. Yeah, I did that, and so then I would be on campus at like 8:15 in the morning. And I'd go to the library and sit there, and it was absolutely lovely, and I'd sit there and do some work, and it was really nice at that time of day. I really miss the library. I really, really miss the library. There's some lovely hidden bits where you can sit in the library at Canterbury, which is like the quieter bits. There is a silent zone, which is better for me, but it's still full of people. The places that are best for me are the individual rooms that you can book out. They actually overlook the cafe, so I have to cancel all of the noise. I have to have my headphones on in order to be there, but it's just me in a little booth, and I love it. And you can rent those booths out, and it is honestly one of my PhD goals is to be one of the people that rents one of the private booths so I can just go there and work whenever I want. My camera. Yeah, that's it's one of my life goals. Don't laugh at me. That's kind of directed at myself as well. Okay. Oh, this has got some of my reading group notes in it. Okay. What I'm wanting to do, I think especially with this book, because this book is so big and there's so much in it, I'd like to break it down into more goals. So I'm gonna have a look at, I've got my week 1 reading, I can speak. one of them, so a lot of the books we read in the first week, because this was the intro week, were like big compendiums, like big readers, and so we would be reading like the intro of them, which generally defined the medical humanities, and we were then talking about the definition of the medical humanities, and the different definitions of it. But there's one book where I just made a list of all the chapter titles, like all the article titles, because I was like, I'm gonna want to come back to this book, but I cannot read all 900 pages of it now. Okay, so it's 15 pages of notes for week 1. So let's say that's the goal for now. I'm gonna type. My first block was finishing that notebook. My second block is we're going to type this up, and then tomorrow we'll look at typing like week 2 and week 3 up and go on like that, and maybe I'll end up doing a bit more than that, especially given that what I've got to do now is look up some of these books. Or I could be lazy and not do that, and then do that if I need to. No, I should do it now. Do it now. The whole point of this is to do it properly. I must fight the urge to just be lazy. Can I still access my reading list? Because that would have easy links to everything. He's actually logged me in. Yes, I can. Excellent. Oh, amazing. And then when I click it, it's got all the information on. I'm just going to mute for a second so I can blow my nose properly. There you go. That way you don't have to hear that. Okay, so put that over there for a second. I don't want to put the abstract in. I want to put another author in. I don't know why it does that. It really annoys me. Yes, 2045. That well-known publishing date. All right. I need to check my own self again. Something I do in my notes that is very confusing and I need to fix is I use the initials MH for both medical humanities and mental health. At one point I started trying to use MI for mental illness instead. I haven't fully gotten the hang of doing that yet. But that's something I know that I need to fix. Oh, my hands are starting to hurt. Careful. It's something about I'm learning more and more what sort of things it is that hurt my hands, and it's any kind of, it's not gripping things, but any kind of like pushing or pulling. Like sometimes literally pulling a blanket over myself can be really painful. And typing is effectively pushing, but like high impact pushing. So it can be especially bad. Something I will make sure I do when I take my break after stream before I go and do my other studying, is I will make sure that I don't use my hands for that hour. I'm probably just gonna go put another episode of TV on. I'm finally watching the second season of The Mandalorian. So I watched the first one last night. I might go put the second one on today. I woke up in the middle of the night because I'd realised that, and I'm not going to spoil it with what it is, but I'm going to say that the first episode of the second season of The Mandalorian is directly lifted from Knights of the Old Republic. And I realised that not at the time as I was watching it, but hours later, and I woke up and I was like, and I was going to tell my husband, but I realised it was 2 a.m. and I shouldn't. I should not wake him up to be like, hey, I've realised a thing. Although he would 100% accept that as a middle of the night moment of recognition. Ooh, what have I done? How did I do that? I think I pressed Shift and Tab. I'm gonna. I've put var dot. I think it's gonna be varying. Also, R's and N's in my handwriting look the same. So that name could be Viljanen. It could be Viljaren. It could be Viljana. I don't know. Interestingly, I think these notes that I've taken are better than some of the notes I've been taking recently. And you'll see why in a moment. It's because of the references thing that I mentioned before. Also, though, saying that, I don't understand what these notes are about. Okay, so this is the bit that's better, is I made, oh, you can't see it because I'm up on it. Can I scroll down? This is the problem with me being on this side, isn't it? Give me a second. I'm just going to swap the sides over. Because actually the bit I wanted it so that I'm looking at the stuff that you're seeing. I'm gonna first of all... Oh, it's locked, isn't it? Reset transform. I'm completely in a different place now. I need to unlock the ticker. I'm going to stick the ticker over here. Then I'm going to stick myself down here, and I'm going to make myself a lot smaller because you don't need me to be that. Yeah, basically I wanted my head aimed at the bit that I'm looking at, but the thing is that the bit that I'm looking at is that text. So what I did was I made a list of all of the section headings and the chapter concepts, so that in the future, if I'm ever like, wow, I'd really like some stuff on the medical humanities view of popular health, I can find it in here. And I've done that with quite a few of the anthology books. And I think that's a useful thing to do, because in all likelihood, if I'm looking for, say, what else is on here? Bioethics. Then I'll search for the term bioethics, and then this will come up and I'll go, oh, I should look in this book. She's still asleep down there. I'll see if I can get a photo of it and post later. Because she looks adorable. It's not very hard for her to look adorable. She's an adorable cat. I don't know what order these are in. I'm gonna guess left to right and then the next level. Like, for example, I can now see that I need to go back and read the section on narratives of illness. I should make a note of that. I'm going to put it in this notebook. Oh, actually, no, this isn't a... I'm going to make a note that I need to work out where I'm putting this sort of thing. And then I'm going to add this to the list. I don't want to just make a random list, because then that's not a system for it. I need something that's gonna, like, I need a system for, at the moment I've just literally got a stack of books over there, which is my to read list, and then I've got a list, I've got a bookmarks folder of articles, but reminding me to read one specific chapter from a specific book, which means I'm going to have to request it, because I don't think this book is digital. I'm going to have to get it digitized by the library. I need to think of a system, which may well be just making a list in a notebook, but I think possibly having that list be on something separate is a good idea, because it's something I'm going to be adding to a lot, I think. I'll put system for to read, and then I will remind myself to read. If I just put mid hums intro chapter, then that will jog my memory enough. Yeah, I think I've got a bunch of like post-its and stuff, so it might be that, or what I do, like I've got some giant post-its that are like this big. I'm not kidding, they really are huge. So maybe I will just have that on my desk. Although that's not like a long-term system because I'm going to fill that up really quickly. This is all leading further and further towards bullet journaling academically. I'm bullet journaling for like my general planning. But I can see myself getting towards the point where I need like the system part. But then I've also I've used Evernote for years, and I'm moving from Evernote to Notion, or at least I will do if I can ever get it to import properly. And so I'm thinking of like potentially putting effectively using my my bullet journal for, and this is how I've done this for a while actually, is using my bullet journal for like week to week, but then for longer term projects and for the breaking down of projects, and effectively the place I go to when I need to know what the next task is, then going to Notion and using that. So that may well be what I end up doing, because it'll then work in with everything I've already got going. I may in fact get the library to give me this entire section, my god. Oh, I've already done philosophy. Maybe I want the section on suffering and hope as well. If only this wasn't such like a giant book, and then I could just get a copy of it. But it's a proper brick. Oh, my eyes are really hurting. I'm gonna look. What can I look at? I'm gonna look at those books over there. I cover that light up. Looking into. I'm not tired, you're tired. And this one is... Warning, this list relates to the term 2019 to 2020, which ended on the 31st of August 2020. In and it's in volume 32, issue 1. Date is John. Something. I think that's what that says. There's no way to be sure. That's it. I think that was a short article, to be fair. That's the extent of my notes on it. Oh, hands. How much more have I got to do? I've got like 10 more pages to do. I don't think my hands are going to finish that. Okay, so the question is, do I stop now? So I'm just going to check in with myself and try to work out what's actually going on. My hands are hurting quite a lot. I've got a lot of pain like here, but then also in my fingers. And it's definitely it's worse than the last time I noticed it and mentioned it. Pain in this shoulder. My legs are aching. I've got a headache. I think I should probably stop. I realise that's a long list of things, and that might seem like tons, and maybe I should have stopped earlier. But the thing is that I had several of those things already when I came here. Like, they're not new. But I think that is a good point to listen to my body, and do what it needs, and take a slightly longer break before I then go do some reading. And the reading will all be, no, it won't be analog because I'm reading online articles today, but I can have taken a break, take my eyes away from something. Maybe I won't watch the TV because that'll just be a difference. Maybe I'll find something else to do for a bit, and give my brain and my eyes a rest. Then when I come back to doing some reading later, I'll be in a much better position to actually do it without hurting myself. But it's been lovely to see you all here today. Thank you all so much for coming. I am going potentially to do a raid. Yeah, I get really nervous about raiding, okay? Because I feel really conspicuous. But it's a really good thing to do for Twitch, because it helps you to get more to network, basically. It's networking for Twitch. So we're gonna go raid Murgles. Murgles is an art streamer. She's an animator, and she's currently animating a short film. And she's absolutely lovely. Her community are lovely. I'm part of the community, and they're absolutely amazing. So we're going to go head on over there. I will see all of you tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll let you know how my studying this afternoon went. We'll get back to some note typing. Hopefully my hands will be a bit better. I have got backups in place for things we can do if I become unable to type. I could probably do with a few more. But yeah, so I'm gonna hit this raid button, and I hope you'll all come with me and say hello and hi to Murgles and her lovely community. So I will see you all soon.